any percent glitchless tutorial I may or may not be redoing. I may redo because I want a better explanation on how to execute movement and tricks, because those are very important for the core stuff of Dread that you need to, that's very much mandatory if you want to start getting good times in this game. This is also just information on how to like move optimally and just like go quickly on bosses. So first things up, I have a rookie mode file. You can play on pretty much any difficulty, but rookie mode is definitely recommend starting out because there's a lot of easier strats you can do, for instance. But yeah, anyways, I think we should just start on rookie mode for now. So here we go. So first thing you want to do, to create a file, you would go press like new game, and then you would press rookie mode, and then you watch through, and then you would reset to main menu. So yeah, there's that. So first things up, you would select rookie mode, and continue. So normally a timer would be going. I also want to mention I'm redoing this tutorial because I have a significantly better capture card. I specifically have an Elgato HD60X, now not my cheap $20 card that I had for like years. So we are in Artaria, very important area. So you may or may not be resetting here, just depending on how your playstyle is. So here is Samus, and here is the controls. So yeah, obviously if you played Metroid Dread, you know how the controls work. So start out, you're first of all going to run to the right. Just run to the right. And then as soon as you get around here, you maybe want to do like a full jump here. So that way you don't do that, which is slow. You then do that because then you keep momentum. This is stuff that's very core to Dread, and you just need to do that because then it's just going to be a lot faster for you overall. What I'm trying to say is just jump like try not. I would encourage you to try jumping earlier rather than later here, so that way you keep momentum. So these crystal frogs here, or the frog subjects, what I like to do is I like to do a running spam them with my knees. I am using turbo, but you do not need turbo to do this strat. Instead, with melee fire, it's literally the same effect. It has a 0+0 time loss or time gain net. So there's that. Then you want to run the full hop in the air and then or two missiles. I'll show what that section looks like properly and stuff. My idea is to go over movement mechanics as they happen, so that way we can keep this on track and we can make sure we're covering everything as necessary. I will teach everything. I will definitely teach the fast ways and the slow ways to do tricks as well. That is my idea for this tutorial. So this is how the section should look optimally. Run to the right, or you can supplement that for two missiles. Literally it's the same effect. Has 0+0 time limit. So next thing we're gonna do here is you're going to slide and then shoot at the angle of this blob. Like, this is the angle of the blob. And then you're going to want to fire 2 shots at a precise angle, or if you're using turbo, like that. That's how you do that anyways. So you slide, fire shots kind of at the angle of the blob. And then if you've done that successfully, you want to do a quick ledge hop like that. That way you're not spending too much time in the air or the ground. Slide off this ledge. So sliding off the ledges in this game, you'll want to just walk. You don't want to be walking off. Instead, you want to be sliding off of them. You know, it may not feel necessary. Sliding off the ledges a little slow really quick, and then like a little wide sliding off the ledges is extremely important. So about sliding off this this game is that Dance has a smoother transition and stuff, so that's why I slide off the sledge. Just take fractions of seconds that the night like off runner status. So yeah, there's that. And you want to slide and then do 2 wall jumps off of here. The slug isn't relevant because you move through the section so quick that you don't even need to worry about the slug. And instead of doing that, which is slow, you actually want to like weave around the ledge, because if you weave around the ledge, you're going to actually have a smoother momentum keep, which is what one runner in the community talks about. And then you want to slide, shoot a missile, and then just keep running, and then slide through the wall block. You can't get through that. And then slide through the wall block, kill with the missile, and then melee through the door. I'll show that section in full, so that way you all understand how it works, what it looks like if done in a run. You do not need turbo to do this section fast. The block may save like seconds. You know what? I'm going to show this one more time, just so that way I can demonstrate what you do if you don't want to run turbo. So yeah, that's. You do that, or I mean, I haven't done the manual strat in a long time. Kind of like, in some ways, you kind of want to do that, assuming you hit all the shots. But I'm not gonna really. I may cover turbo oval strats or manual only strats. Then melee through the door, because if you melee through the door, you get to more momentum keep, and it's a lot faster than just walking through cutscenes. Because if you melee through the door, you get to lot of speed.
Uploading data.
So you've accessed the network station. Well done. Say I've run it.
You'll just want to spam super attacks, either finding your own mash method, your own rank method, or your own turbo method. I used turbo at 20 hertz, even though the cap was 21. So I just held. So for turbo, you just hold down the button and spam through the text. It's pretty straightforward. Then after you land on the acid, you walk until this dude. You want to spin off the ledge, and then you want to kill the other stuff. I can show how to do this run. So I'm gonna go over this multiple times and try to explain it in the best vocabulary someone can understand. So you want to walk, and then you want to just run, and then you spin, like kind of like that. Like you fall off the ledge I'm pointing at, and then you want to just respin off of it. Or maybe even do a switch clip of doing this strat. Spin off. Pretty much that's how you do that strat. And then ignore him. After getting up here, you want to do a ledge hop. Then you'll want to weave past this ledge instead of rubbing it like here. We killed the fly, so now we're going to actually show why you never ever do this. See how slow she rubs and then stubs her toe? This is what we're trying to avoid. Don't do this unless you want to, of course, lose time. So you want to actually weave like this, because it turns out it's a lot faster. And then as soon as you're up here, ledge hop like this, and then you do a ledge where with these ledges you press and so the thing about this is you want to press and hold B every time you get to this ledge, because then it allows you to keep ledge grabbing continuously, like on here. And that's why we do it instead of doing that, because that is a lot slower, because this allows us to momentum keep rather than spending years trying to do trying to do some ledge climbs. So yeah, basically there's that. And then you want to do a ledge grab here, kill this fly, and then do another ledge to ledge that I discussed earlier. It's literally the same concept, like, as is... Literally, what I'm trying to say is it's literally the same concept as what we did earlier in the climb with those two ledges. And then jump here, and then kill the blob enemy, which I don't know what it's called. Forgive me for that. Then you want to do a ledge hop, and then eventually slide through. But I want to go over what climb should look like when done in a run. And then I might slow it down. Where's my album? Okay. No, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Ignore all of this. Okay, we're able... Like, these ledges, like, I want to explain. See how she continuously ledge grabs? This is what I'm talking about. I wanted to just slow it down further. So, grab these ledges like these. Then kill this enemy. Then grab the ledge. Angle and kill the fly, because the fly is just going to get in the way and going to lose you time. And then you want to do a ledge to ledge, where you press and hold B between ledge grabs. I think is the correct way to say it. And then you want to kill the slug going up and not do the slug on the ground. The thing I want to note is staying on the ground. I'm trying to say Samus moves fastest on the ground. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Not other stuff. So you slide through. As the item tutorial's gonna I would grab this missile, especially if you're going to begin any percent close. There's a way to skip over it. After killing the boss, you just do a wide ledge hop to skip the missile. But if you're a beginner, just do like slow ledge hop and grab the missile. And then skip the nothing can be right here. After you kill the door, you want to do a running melee, and that pushes Samus's position further. And then you want to just do a jump, and then you want to slide and then if you slide. If you press jump too early, you will do something we call a tire jump. If you press B a lot later, you'll return off the ledge. It's faster than sliding and then like not pressing spin. So what I'm talking about. See how Samus, like on this ledge right here, Samus, like after she slides, she goes into neutral. Well, after you press slide, you want to press B because you know how she spins. So the thing about spinning is that she vaults faster when she spins, not when she goes into neutral. That's a lot faster than doing that compared to this. See how it's a lot faster? That's gonna add up. because those are going to be a lot in the run. Like you'll just want to be sliding and re-spinning off of ledges. So what happens anyway? So after, let's say you just killed both enemies, you want to open the door and then just run through the door and stay on the ground the entire time. And then you'll want to jump around here rather than doing that, which is a lot slower. You'll want to jump around here and then do some ledge grabs. Also, instead of like doing that, you want to have tighter ledge grabs, like what I just did right here. So when I go towards the ledge, I want to like kind of minimize the amount of times I press and jump and how many times I quickly. You don't want to mash it, but you want to press it quickly. You want to have the timing be like a rhythm, because then that way it's going to allow you to just go fast with your ledge. Instead of having bad you want to go through. So with the okay, so I'm going to have like salmon. So what am I trying to say? Sometimes I get lost in my words and I don't know what I'm trying to say. So this enemy's pretty much you never get hit by it. So this respin is absolutely dreadfully safe, by the way. The only reason I killed it because I'm trying to show it. So I'm just gonna do it now and kind of explain. Take a switch recording. Oh, this is perfect. So, this spinfall. So spinfalling, I'm going to explain spinfalling is a mechanic because this is very important for me to go over because it's going to be a lot. So when you do a spinfall, you fall to neutral and then you flick the stick the opposite way and then you do a respin. Like you turn around first and then initiate spin, not initiate spin and then turn around. And this spinfall is in particular important because it allows us to do something we call platform weave. There are some more advanced ones that I'm not even sure I know how to do, but let's stick to basic spinfalls. So she's walking up the ledge, right? Then you want to flick the stick and then spin jump. See how she falls really fast? And then after you do that, with this one in particular, you want to go the opposite direction. So with the first spinfall, you went running left, then flicking right, and then going back left. So it's running left, right, left. That's basically the direction you need to think of for the spinfall. That is the thing you need to be thinking of right here, because this is the stuff that's going to save you a whole heckin' lot of time. After you do that successfully, you want to slide through and then kind of leave yourself so you don't end up doing. Okay, I'm being very bad. You don't end up doing this unless, of course, it's faster. I'm mistaken. But anyway, you want to be doing this. So then you want to put on. Well, if you do a spin here, then you won't even. So don't do a spin here because you need to be able to initiate create. So fall and then create towards the block, so that way you actually I'm going to make it safe because I want to demonstrate this in case I fail it. Because again, another exploits where it's like we need to be getting down. water's flowing, you're going to want to coyote jump to the ledge. There's a very specific time, and this is like really hard for me. Okay, perfect. I got it decently fast enough to demonstrate. So, as soon as you get up to the ledge, wait until the water is okay, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, wait till the water's kind of about here. This is where the water level you need it to be. So you could look for it in the background you could look in the background for like where the water's draining or where the water currently is and is draining into. Then that's where you want a coyote jump. And then after that, you'll want to do a ledge hop so that way you can immediately like get into the cutscene. And then that is slightly faster than like missing it. Now we're in Artaria. So you just want to walk and then like go into stick neutral and then just turn around. And then as you're falling through the hole, you'll want to do a slide into respin again, much faster. Then you want to slide respin like here. And then you want to ledge hop and stuff you talked about. So then you want to also you're down into the first HV sequence. So when you're sliding from automatically in this position, for example, this is that one that you have, for example, one of the
Uploading data.
One of the tags is the least important. Also, by this point, you should be turning Turbo A off if you're going to be attempting Glitchless. I mean, even if you don't want to run Glitchless by the official rules, I still feel it's important to go over this trick because it's like, I just feel like I need to teach it because it actually can still be a useful skill. So as soon as you're on the island pad, I'm trying to like get on the island pad. So perfect. So as soon as you stop talking to Adam, immediately start running and angling up towards where the door is because you can open it actually slightly earlier. That saves like fractions of a second, like that. So that's how you do that. Then you want to ledge off the blob. Then aim towards the blob, like how I'm aiming towards now. No, don't do that. Then, as soon as I'm low enough, I press spin to make myself fall faster. And then slide through. And then, what you were going to do right here is we're going to immediately do a melee. And then, after you successfully do melee, she goes right here. Then do another spin fall, and then slide through spin. I'm not sure I can do that time. Then jump and shoot the door. Actually, what I'm going to do, because of the Emmy, I'm going to demonstrate the entire room, and then I'm going to play back the Twitch recording feature. Demonstrate that again, because that was horrible. So that's what you don't do, by the way. Those mistakes. Also, I'm a little rusty at this game, but I still remember how to play pretty well. Write albums. Right, turbo is off. I just was trying to chat. Okay, so wait, did I not record it? Oh no. Yeah, anyways. I'm not sure what to do about it, but basically, so when you get through this end of what was supposed to happen is you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to slide and then do a coyote, like kind of in the midpoint of this room, so you spend less time with the water. Sometimes I miss it, sometimes you get it. You basically have one shot. So go over underwater ledge grabs and then show you how the room is done. Actually, I'm going to reload last save and then just like speed run the section because I clearly screwed up. So don't mind that. I'm trying to do this tutorial where it's well made. Stuff. So we're going to
Uploading data. Even if I fail it, I just... Okay, I'll go over the door thing one more time because we're here. So, even if I like... Even if that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so before Samus is right here, you want to do a melee off the above ledge where there's a slope, and then there's another slope that meets. So then you want to do a spin fall, and slide to respin, and then a full jump with something we call a shot. Well, I'm not sure if that's shot planting, but there is places we do shot plant later in the run, which is actually very soon. Interestingly enough, I'll go over shot planting later. I thought I shot planted, but maybe not. One big coyote. Oh, I didn't realize I exited out of it. Whoops. Never mind. So, alright, so you want to do slide. You want to do a full coyote here. Coyote jump. So, I'm not sure if I went into this, but a coyote jump is when Samus slides, and then she jumps to keep momentum. So basically, when Samus slides, she can have a jump, which is a very useful thing. And then if you did that correctly, you should be up here with no momentum loss. If the enemy's right here, just jump towards it, and then wait for it to go. This is the bad spawn. You want the enemy to be more to the left and towards more of the bottom platform. So that way you can melee over the enemy and then avoid it. I didn't get that here. Because my position I have to ledge hop, and then I have to regardless of RNG, you want to do this melee here. That way that skips that all over that platform. If you don't, you just walk on the platform, which is slower. You fall and then drop onto the platform, which is what I meant to say. So meleeing off of ledges will allow her to skip a lot of ledges, but sometimes it's better to slide off of ledges rather than meleeing off of ledges. Meleeing off of ledges can be useful in some places, but in others it cannot. So just do one and then jump over here. And then you'll want to do a neutral. You want to fall in neutral state, which is non-spin jump. And then here. And then you'll want to fall. And then do a coyote off this ledge where Samus is in the coyote animation state. This is where you want to do a coyote jump. And then to a spin. Man, my nose is getting really stuffy. Okay, so after you'll just want to do the block. And you'll want to do another coyote here. Then you'll want to after you go through the enemy door. Coyote, like, kind of when the screen is starting to fade back in. That way you skip all of this water instead of just slogging through it, which is like a lot of time you're losing there. And then you'll want to start initiating your missiles so that way you kill all these creatures. So that way you don't experience enemy knockback. And after you kill all these creatures, the thing you want to do. So, do you know how I said with ledge hopping, you'll want to do a spin jump and then just keep ledge grabbing over it? Well, we don't do that here. We instead face opposite direction of what we want to go, and then we spin in the opposite direction to get up here. This is because water physics are significantly more different without land physics. Because believe it or not, this will change once we get the gravity suit, which will be a lot later in the run. So you want to kill the Venus flytrap with a missile. You want to just keep jumping into the water. Then kill this missile, like I kill not the missile, kill the other Venus flytrap, like what I just did. So jump here. Also, what I was trying to do is I was trying to angle in the water to get the door to open faster, but I didn't get that here. Regardless of missing that or not, you'll want to do an underwater ledge grab like here, because believe it or not, we're still underwater when we initiate the ledge grab. And then we're there. So that's how you want to handle that section. If I've been enunciating correctly in the entire time. You want to run right, then kill the other Venus flytrap, and then do a slight. Okay, very cool. Anyway, regardless of the stats on this trick. So, alright, so I'll show two ways of routing this so you can decide what you want to do, what you're comfortable with. Getting this missile now saves 15 seconds. If you don't want to get this missile, ignore this part and skip ahead. And then just go down. But we're actually going to cover a trick we call Glitchless. So for a long time, speedrunners used to do this trick by doing something like this. What I did was very bad. The point being is you want to do some weird steps above the ceiling and then get to it. That was right perfect. That had a high reset potential. If you failed it once or twice, you had to start over. And the game did not care if you wanted to do. So what that maybe about a year or so ago or some change, we found a trick that trivializes this entirely. I'm going to teach you that for you. So, first things first, Samus needs to be hugging the wall. I'll just show it, and then I'm going to demonstrate it. That was wrong. That was late. That was late. That should work. Okay, so that is both of those. See how I went to the home menu? That was completely on purpose. Here's why I went to the home menu. The home menu gives Samus extra speed from our Coyote. Not extra speed, but extra force on the push. So it's basically like a super Coyote jump where you get an extremely well-timed buffer. Because if I try this without the buffer, I'd be very close. And this would allow me to get to the missile. A lot better, a lot less hard. There's lots of parts to it. It's very simple. So I'm going to explain this. First of all, you want to be hugging the wall. Number 2, face right. Then third, initiate, hold, and then initiate the Coyote jump. Not before, not after. Hold, and then the Coyote. You could not Coyote jump and then press home. Here's why. The home menu has a couple seconds of delay, which means when I press the home button, I still have time to initiate a Coyote jump, which is why as soon as I press right, I press home, and then I press slide. I maybe need a slight delay to actually initiate the Coyote jump. Press home and then quickly press the Coyote because of the way I have the play set up. So I'm going to show you something. We're going to go into system settings. I have the setting turned on. So, okay, so see how I'm on Zoom? This will give you much more time for Cloakless. If I didn't have Zoom on, the home menu would actually initiate much faster. We do not want this in this case. For me, the zoom feature being on allows me a significantly more delayed home button timing. So it also helps me that I have the keypad down balanced at home. And then that allows me to like actually get my finger to reach home. So yeah, there's that. So to review, we hug the wall, we turn around, we press home, and then we press slide. Like I just did. Hold and then quickly slide. Because if you wait to press slide, there's no way to like that still works. So yeah, it's a lot more lenient than I thought. Then you want after you initiate. Very important. So also some other pointers to point out. If Samus's legs are like really long from the ledge, like if Samus is like that, then that's not gonna work. If Samus is like that, it's not gonna work. If Samus is not close to the ledge, you did it too late. If Samus's legs are like that, then yeah. Even if Samus's legs are a little longer, the thing you'll want to do. So go into the home menu, you let go of the stick, then you press A to go back into the game, and then kind of want to do a lowish coyote. Yeah, you want to have a low high coyote, because I want to show you what happens when you try to do a high. When you have a really high coyote, you don't get the momentum gain. You have to either do it like in the middle, like kind of right here, or kind of really down low. So, also, when you do go into the home menu, well, I already explained this. But another pointer I'd like to point out is that when I'm in the home menu, I just rapidly spam A to get back to the game as quickly as possible. When you do that, and then I immediately let go, immediately travel through the stick again. Because if you're the home menu, if I have the stick like this, like if you keep holding the stick, then you're not going to get it because you think that's the way, but no, you need to go stick neutral for this to work. And that's how that works. This is 100% consistent. Having set up that works. So yeah, that's Glitchless. I want to show new movements. Yeah, that's not how you do that. Run like this, kill the enemy, slide. Slide off here. You want to go to stick control and then just reach the ledge. The one I'm taking off of, you want to go into spin, and then you want to jump off of here. That's how you do this section. That's the cloakless route. I'll show you what you do if you don't offer cloakless. Just going through here. So, slide off with spin ball, and then you slide off here, and then try to do a wiggle. And you just jump through the water like this. So yeah, and now my straps. First thing you want to do is you want to slide, which obvious. That's how you go through the game casually. Kill the robot, and then you'll want to melee here. I've been theorizing that maybe you want to melee actually a lot earlier, but so you want to melee off the sledge to get to here. Even if the enemy notices you, you can do this completely unscathed. Even if the enemy is above you or here, it does not matter. The way you move through this room does not the enemy spawn does not affect the way you move through this room. So you want, as soon as, even if he notices you, regardless, you want to do a spinball, and then you want to slide to respin, and then you want to do melee off the edge, and then you want to jump. You could either do it against the wall, or you can do it all the way here. Then you'll want to do something called a buffered wall jump. I'm going to go over water platscape, even though I've done this many times in my tutorial. So with water platscape, you want to do a buffered wall jump. This works by holding jump and right, both at the same time. And you'll want to do a melee. This is going to push Samus back towards the wall. And then you want to do another wall jump or buffered wall jump. And then, if you did it correctly, you grab the you will successfully grab the ledge. The height you want. How do I zoom in? I'm gonna go back after the show. The wall looks like. I might need to take a straight shot. Wait a second. I just got an idea. Never mind. So. Okay, perfect. I can zoom in with this. So, see how on the wall Samus is in our position? This is the height you want. This is exactly the height you want. So, this is where you want to do a buffer. This is where you want to do the buffer wall jump. Not any lower, but this is kind of where you want to do it. And then, if you did that correctly, you can basically just do melee and then wall jump and then ledge grab. You can it's basically a rhythm trick. So after you get it correct, you're gonna basically have to look the muscle memory. After you go through the end, you don't go up first slide. That way, just then do underwater ledge grab, melee on slide, spitball. door position. And then you do right. This time we're actually going to go a slightly different route right. I'm going to grab the first E-tank. I want to demonstrate shot. Yeah, I didn't get it. Just gonna do it again. This is perfect. So, when you go out of a coyote, you press shot to break spin, and then the point is, after a coyote, she basically goes into neutral, so you spend less time in the air, essentially. That's kind of my understanding of shot planting. It may or may not be a poor explanation, but I tried to explain. So you want a shot plant because you go to the charging door. Or if you're comfortable, you can't shot plant it as well. So yeah. Or you can slide through. In quick charges. Let's start with the Musby. Okay, I'm actually that's kind of what I want to do. Is that enough? So let's pretend the Musby's here. I make full charge, and then a full charge there. And then the Musby will die. So what I do instead is if you have turbo, you can fly and release it and then do it later, but basically when it happens, I'll explain more of the rhythm of that. No, not the rhythm. The mechanics of that. So yeah, there's that. Then you want to go fly. Spawns in the zone because there are some that are very bad. If the Emmy goes up here, then you're good. Just keep going. There are some that have to. Okay. This one. I didn't pair the Emmy. So, the platform. I'm going to show the platform I'm on. Or anyways. You're going to have to wait and stall if he's on the platform. He's on the platform. If he's right there. Today. So, if the Emmy gave you the spawn I just got, so what you're gonna want to do, I'll show the last, show how to do. So, I mean, move through it, my mouth. He gives you that. that spawn where he's up on this platform right here, you want to slide and then just do walk up to the ledge above. I'm dying over and over is because I'm trying to show you what to do if you get a bad enemy spawn. And just demonstrate anyways when I really need to go over the notorious one. That's one way to do it. I don't know if it's actually fast. So ideally this is how you want to go through. If he's right here, you need to stall and then wait and then go.
Uploading data.
Seconds for, well, yeah.
There was no record of your assailant in the future.
Yeah. You want to click rise again, then you want to do a melee. Then the melee will also come on. You'll talk to Adam like that. Then slide respin, melee, and then leave. So, do you know how I did that spin fall at the very beginning of the game? By a lane, where I was trying to lower the water to get into the enemy zone? This is a similar idea to this. So yeah, this is actually the same exact idea, interestingly enough. You do basically the same things here. You do a melee, except this time you do a melee and then you win platform. So left to right, essentially. And then you want to go here, because this gives the thermal time to open. And then, as soon as it's partway open, you can just walk, and then it's like, you just auto-walk, and then you'll go through it. So that's faster. Oh, I need to show a strat. Show a strat if you're low on missiles. I completely forgot this existed, lol. But that's why I reloaded the checkpoint. So the idea was for me to kill the drone. See, we'll come back here. Right for it. Yeah, it's not really working. The idea is you'll kill the drone like that, and it's in a lot closer position. The point is, if you kill the drone, you're gonna get a huge actually want to show what it looks like properly, so I'm going to reload the checkpoint. I want to the whole point of this tutorial is for me to show you backups of stuff. That way I can have, so that way the new runner, not new runner, like anyone who's trying to learn how to there, that's missile weave to kill the central unit. Basically, you dash melee to get aim position. You dash melee to get aim position, and then you press free aim, stick in the position, and then you fire at the shell. Basically, fire at the shell, then fire at the core. The shell takes 15 missiles to break, and the core, well, is dead. So that's how you do it. Optionally, when it's on phase 2, you can just missile weave to kill it a lot faster. For the Omega units, you want to start melee, and then point towards the door. Start Omega Stream. And start charging Omega Blast. Strats here, what you can do. Multiple kills. If you're using turbo of 15 hertz or your mash is like actually wild, what you do? Then see how the Omega door breaks a lot faster open? That's why that's what it's turbo above at least 15 hertz. This is one of the keys. It's a lot more. Once the enemy space plate is down, you start charging Omega Blaster. So I've shown a couple. Enemy move a lot faster because I ran Magus route a lot, or Corpius first. all you gotta do is just jump over and then melee. Then melee again. Did I get a headlock? You're gonna want to track the head. Okay, so the idea of this fight is that if you don't get something called a headlock, which I hopefully will go explain, basically the idea is to track the head and hit at least 26 missiles on phase 3. If you do close, you can grab Jap missiles. Jap missiles, you do cloakless, grab missiles before the white enemy encounter, and you grab the lane missiles. You should have not doing well, 36. Could this you don't grab any missiles. Where, regardless of not getting the headlock initiator, the thing is you don't get spent. Initiate the headlock. We actually it's possible to spend things. The wirelessly small. So yeah. Giving tail swipe headlock really on. No, I can actually see it feel good. Quickly or actually wait for the boss. So that can end up So, you see how Corpius spits like this? If you can manage to phase him into phase 3, his head will be locked, and you can just crouch and spam missiles. I will demonstrate. So in that case, you just want to crouch and spam missiles and win the fight. I can only do this fight once. Okay, important mechanic. So I'm going to teach you how to flip slide. You probably know how to do this, but I'll teach it anyway. So basically you want to slide like at the same distance. Because doing this takes so much time. I'm going to type this to see how long. Why you should never fail a flip slide. see how much close slide does. My phone's closer to me if I have to time this. That's over 1.5 seconds faster for close slide. This is why you can do that. To demonstrate, you want to ledge hop, and then as soon as you're up on the ledge, you want to initiate a slide and a float. So that means just press slide in the R3 stick or the left stick. So then what's the proper vocabulary term? Forgot, but just do this. Like, go around the platform. Yeah, this is what you want to do. Then you want to close slide again. And then you'll have 36 missiles. And then I'm going to break it down frame by frame. What you want to do, this is the version I want. This is the elevator debut. The most simple setup I can teach a beginner, and this is the one I'm still using today. So, kill the frog with 2 missiles. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. Do a full height wall jump, and then as soon as you get hit, press re-aim, and then you go into the ledge. Slow climb instead of, do not ledge hop, rather slow climb. And then you'll want to slide off of here, fire a missile point blank shot. Then you'll want to run, and then you'll want to fire to the air. And regardless of if you got hit by the pinky or not, this should still work. So, you want to jump here, do a full height jump to where Samus is currently at now. Go down, land on the ground, and do another wall jump, and then press free aim. And that's how you elevator deboost fast. Then one side wall jump across the magnets and then ledge jump. And then pass that to elevator deboost. If you do this fast, if you do all of our parts fast, you should be getting like a 1040, or maybe you could get anywhere between a 1030 with sub 11 with like really good movement. That is my recommendation. Probably gonna stop and then eat some food because I'm hungry, and yeah, I think I want to do a full series on Dread tutorials so that way I can fully explain. I'm probably also gonna have a separate breakdown. Okay, I'll go save at Adam and then do a more in-depth tutorial afterwards. First of all, I'm just going to demonstrate, and then I'm going to go into this. Perfect. I'm going to spam Adam text, and then I'm going to break down this room. And then I think I'll stop for
Uploading data.
And then I'll start to build new patterns.
VR appears to be unstoppable.
Okay, that almost concludes it. Okay, this is how you do this room. Fall. Like I just did. Then do a spin fall here. And then you'll want to either do a charge shot or a missile. And then spin fall here. And then whether you want to get hit by the robots. And then you'll want to do a spin fall off of here. And then you'll want to platform weave through all of this. Kind of right to left. Kind of like the weave we did
going to White Emmy and the weave we did before Drain the Water in Canada. What you want to do, just practice platforming, weaving. So when you platform weave, you want to flick the stick at very specific directions. For instance, I want to flick the stick when I'm around this platform, and I want to flick the stick when I'm around here. At the edge of platforms, that's when my cue is to go. That's kind of how I do it based on what I'm showing here. And then I want to melee off the sledge to get more wave. And then I shoot the door, and then I do 2 quick hops. And then I talk to Adam. I hope you found this tutorial very helpful so far. I try to do my best to go into depth with a lot of mechanics and how to properly move through this stage in Artaria. I plan to do a part 2, and I might do more of Dread later. I might do more of how to move through Cataras. And then I might do a full 80% glitchless run. Honestly, that should conclude part 1. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you on the next one.